Hey friends, welcome back. Now we are going to continue our MERN stack series. This is our e-commerce project and here is our project. So this is the admin application we are creating, and here you can see we have the home tab, we have the category. So this is what we have created in the previous videos. Also we have added this products and we can add a new product with the help of this. In the previous video we have encountered a problem. So if you see, if I will click on the select category, okay, right now I'm getting this categories. Let's reload your page while you are in the products tab, and let's reload the application. And if you try to add a new product, you can see what we have. We don't have any product. It's because we have added a component did mount or use effect in this category page itself, right? So whenever we will navigate to this category tab, so it is like a page. Once it's loaded, then use effect will be execute, and then our action will dispatch to fetch the categories. Okay, so let's solve this problem, and this is our admin application, and here we have src. So instead of loading data, so this category is like our initial data, and also in products we are going to have product data like list of products. So all of these things will be initial data, so it should be available in the first go of the website. Like when you are loading admin application without loading any tab, these data should be available, right? You don't need to make a request when you are navigating from home to category tab. So here you can see in the network tab, if you inspect it, okay, so whenever we are let's say right now in the category tab, right, go home, and here you can see the selected one is xhr, so it will show all the ajax request. So now if we will navigate to the category, and you can see we made a request that is get category, and we are getting the data. Every time when we are navigating from one tab to another, we'll have to make a request, right? So these are our initial data. Instead of making request again and again, we can make an initial request. We can create an API to get all the initial data in the first in single API, like all the categories, all the products, all the orders in the single API, right? So we will do that, and that is the approach we will implement in this admin application. And here let's start with the categories. Here we have actions. Okay, so action is not a problem. Let's go to the containers, and here we have category, right, index.js, and here we have written this where here we have here we are dispatching to get the list of categories, right? So let's copy this line, or basically cut it from here. You don't need any more this use effect here. Let's remove. Now let's save, and now let's go to the app.js file, and here we also have a use effect. Okay, so here we can also dispatch an action. Here I'm writing that dispatch, okay, get all category. Also import this action get all category from the action file, right? So here we're going to say get all category, and let's save this. Now let's go to the code, your application, and here you can see we are in the home tab, and let's go to the network tab. Let's reload the application. So we made a request, that is the get category. We will use a different API, but right now I'm writing it as a get category only. Fine. Let's go to the category tab. Let's go to the products tab. Let's reload your application, and now let's go to the add. Here the problem was we were not getting the list, but let's see what we are getting now. Okay, so here we are getting our list, and it is working absolutely fine. You reload this page million times, it is going to work, right? Because in the first go, like in the first, when we are loading this application, we are loading our get category data, right? Here you can see we have the list of categories. Okay, so this is working fine. Also let's work on the categories again. So here you can see we have written some code to fetch the categories, right? And when we will add a new category, we are also attaching our categories in the existing state, right? So here you can see the actions and category actions, and here we are writing add category. So when we are adding a new category, we are getting the response of that category, and here we are dispatching to add our newly created category, right? So let's go to the reducers, and here you can see category reducer, right? And here we have written this build new categories function, right? So this function will only work if you will add something as a children, right? So let's say if you want to add something which is itself a parent, right? Let's say if you want to add up something without any parent, right? You want to add a parent. For example, let's go to the Flipkart. Here you can see flipkart.com. Let's say you want to add this home and furniture, that is itself a parent category, or this flights, or this woman, or this men electronics. So these are itself a parent category, and we don't need any parent for that. So in that case, this category build new categories is not going to work, because we have created a parent category itself. So to handle that action, that thing, we are going to add a little modification in our existing code. So here we have build new categories, and after creating a new categories which is itself a parent, we'll simply add here a function if a condition if, right? We'll see is there any parent ID, right? So generally what is going to happen if you are adding something as a parent level, you are not going to get a parent ID. So here we are going to receive undefined, right? And undefined is always false, right? So if it is undefined, we'll check. If it is undefined, then we will simply return from here. We don't need to execute this loop, right? We'll simply return from here with an array. So let's split our existing categories here, and we'll say categories. Oh my god, categories, right? So this is our current categories, and we'll add a new category, right? So that is again an object, and here we are going to have underscore id. That is going to be the category dot underscore id. Also name, we'll say category dot name slug category dot slug children. Obviously this is a parent added first time, so children will be an empty array. Okay, so here we have id name slug children. Anything else missing? Okay, I hope not. So here we have name slug and children. Just for the confirmation, you can check in the MongoDB and what we have. So for the parents we have id name slug, and that's it, right? Children here we don't have. Oh yeah, fine, that is fine. So id name slug and children. So this is what we are going to return in case if parent id is undefined, right? Now let's save this code, and now let's go on. And also one thing here, we have to improve, right? This is enough. This check is enough. Children exist or not. We don't need to check the length right now, because let's say we have created a new category and children is empty, and we want to add children of that category. So obviously we don't need to check the length, right? So here we have like that, and here also let's remove this. Okay, now let's save, and let's see this is working or not. Actually what I'm trying to do, I'm improving our code, right? So let's reload the whole application, and you can see the categories is as it is. Now let's add a new category. So let's add this time women. Okay, and here we are going to say let's add a woman. No category. We don't need to select any category. If you have a picture, you can select. Right now I don't want to select any picture for the woman. Okay, later we can delete, we can add a new, it's not a problem. So let's go to the element console, and let's clear console. Now let's save changes, and here you can see our code worked, and here we have woman, and here we have our new list. That is fine, no problem. We don't need to check that because already we have women here. Reload, and that still works, right? Also now let's try to add something subcategory. Let's say we have mobiles. Let's add something new like electronics, mobiles, mobile accessories. Let's add laptops, right? This suits good. Laptops. Okay, so here we are going to say mobiles. Let's add laptops, and here we're going to say select categories. That is under electronics. And again I don't have a picture, right? So let's keep it empty, and let's save changes, and here you can see the laptop is added, right? And you can add more, like let's say we have men, and we can add a footwear, a top wear, a bottom wear. Let's add top wear. Okay, so here in the main section, right now let's add a new category. Let's choose okay, we have to work on this. Laptop should be empty, right? So let's add a top wear, and here we are going to say it is okay. It is what is it? It is men, right? Men. And now let's clean the console, and now let's save it. And here you can see the top wear worked, right? Also let's add bottom wear, bottom wear. And here again it is men, already selected. Let's clean the console, and now let's save changes. And here you can see the bottom wear also added. So this is working fine, right? And also let's fix that code. Let's go to the category index.js. So I'm just improving the code, right? We'll improve it. And here we have, okay, so when we are submitting our category, so that is actually here we have form, parent ID, category, image, and then finally dispatch. After the dispatch, we'll empty the list. Okay, so here we are going to simply say that is the category name. Here we are going to say set category name, and here we empty list. Also set parent category ID, that is again going to be empty list. Okay, let's save, and now let's test this code. Okay, hopefully it's reloaded. Okay, now let's add a new category. Okay, this time electronics, mobile accessories, laptops, smartwatches. Let's add something like home and furniture. Okay, so let's add home and furniture. Okay, that is again a problem. We'll fix this. Add, we'll say home and furniture. Home and furniture category, it is a root category, right? So we don't need to put anything else. Now let's save this, and here you can see the home and furniture added. Now let's add a new category again, and this time it's empty. So now let's check also the subcategory. Home and furniture, we have kitchen, cookware, and serveware, right? Kitchen, cookware, and serveware. So let's add a kitchen, cookware, and serveware. Hopefully spelling is correct. Now let's select home and furniture, clean the console, and now let's add. And here you can see the kitchen, cookware, and serveware added. And what is it? Serveware. Okay, spelling is correct. I was in doubt. Okay, so now let's add a new, and here again selected category. So this is working fine, right? Also you can see when we have small window, this is scrollable, and this is not our expected effect, right? So we'll fix this. So let's go to code, and here you can see we have containers, closet, components, header, index.js, and here we are going to add a new property that is going to be a fixed property, and it is going to be top. So it is going to be fixed in the top. And let's reload, and here you can see this is one thing is done. Now let's you can see we are not able to see our button add and the header categories. So here we have to fix this problem because we have given a padding around 60 pixel. Let me be sure. And here you can see the layout, style.css. Okay, that is not here. Reducer, containers, home, style. Here we have added our sidebar code that should be inside our layout, right? So let's copy it from here, cut, save. Let's go to the layout, index.js, style.css, and before this sidebar you will paste over here. So this is our complete sidebar CSS code. And here we have given a padding top 60 pixels. So same we have to give for that this props children, right? So here we are going to say padding top, that is going to be a 60 pixel. So let's save. Okay, save. Okay, now let's go, and here it is like normal this time. Okay, fine. So this will solve all of our problems. So here we have created all the list, electronics, sportswear, mobiles. And also when we are in the products, you reload this and you're going to get the list of, right? So you're getting all the list, okay? And what okay, let's also here we have in this container uh, category index.js, you can see we have repeating few things, right? We have written a model, that's again we have written also in the product, okay? Here you can see we have model, so we are repeating this. Instead of repeating this, we are going to create a new component that we are going to use as a reusable component, right? So inside the layout, inside the UI, I'm going to create a model. So here I'm going to say model, and here inside I'm going to create a file index.js, and here I'm going to create a functional component RFC, and we'll say model, right? Now let's save this, and now let's go to the category index.js, and now let's copy this complete model from here. Okay, let's copy, and now let's go to the index.js and let's remove this div model and let's paste our model, right? So here this much of code we have written. Okay, so let's format document, and now let's import the model from the React Bootstrap. Model from React hyphen Bootstrap. So the problem right now, you can see we have created a component that is the model. We are importing a component from the Bootstrap that is also model. So we have to rename this, otherwise it is not going to work, right? So let's give a name, new model. Let's rename this our model. Here we'll say new model. Okay, new model, that is going to work. And here we have add new category. So this I'm going to replace with the property that props dot model title. Okay, model title, and we have handle close, right? So instead of handle close directly, I'm going to say props dot handle close. Here we are going to say props dot show handle close, props dot show model title, and here also we'll say props dot handle close. Okay, now let's remove this body completely from here, or let's remove from here. Okay, let's remove this. So here we have our body, and here we are going to say props dot children, right? So we don't need to write this much of code like model header and all this. These are the just repeating things, right? So here we have props dot children. Now let's go to the category index.js file, and you can copy this body part first. Okay, that's what we are going to use. Cut from here and remove this complete model. Okay, and also import the model from the component, right? So here we're going to say import model from components /UI / it's model, right? Model, and the default is itself a new model, so that's not a problem. This is going to be the model, and let's write here, we'll say model. Let's close this, and here we have to pass few things like, so we'll say show, that is going to be props dot show. Oh, so that is just show, right? Show, and then we'll handle close. Here we're going to say handle close. Okay, these two we need to pass, as well as we need to pass the model title. Here we are going to say add new category, right? And now let's paste the body, and here you can see we have the body, right? Let's remove the space also. Let's format the document, right? So here we have model, here we have show, here we have handle close, add new category. Let's see it's working or not. And here identify model has already been declared. Okay, where it is the problem? In the model, import model has already been declared, right? So that's because of the bootstrap. Here we have written model, like let's remove this. Also let's remove this button. We are not using this, right? Let's save. And here button is not defined. Okay, where button? Okay, we are not using button, right? Button is not defined. Okay, I got it. It is in the model actually. Here we need to write button, right? Here we are using button. Now let's save this and let's go and check your item final. So category and add category and everything as it is. Here again you can add a new category. You can select the category, what category you want to add, right? Let's close this, add new category. And also let's do the same thing for the products. Let's go to the products. Here we have index.js and here we have model. So let's copy this body of the model. Cut. And now let's remove this model. We'll say model, paste. So this is our form. Right? This is our form with the model inputs. And now let's remove that model and button from here. Now let's add input. Here we're going to say it's a model from model, and also we are going to pass all those properties like show and all, right? Show, that is going to be show, handle close, that is going to be handle close, and here we can say model title. Here we can say add new product, right? Let's save. And here it is also the same, no problem, no change, right? You can select anything, fine. You can choose a file also. Let's check, do we have anything to add? E-commerce source, and yeah, we can add things, that is totally fine. And this names are big, M01 core, whatever it is. Okay, so this is working fine. Okay, we are able to add product also. Now this time we are going to write a table to fetch the products, to fetch the list, right? So here let's go to the React Bootstrap. Okay, let's search for a table. I would just want something which I can use as a responsive, right? So table, and you can find table, right? So I'm looking for a small table. You can see the size SM we can use for the small table, doc table, responsive table, right? So this is the responsive, always responsive, and this is the code, right? So let's get it. Okay. Table responsive, table head, table body. Okay, responsive SM, single table we want, right? Now let's copy and let's go to the product index.js, and here you can see we have div, right? And products we are showing, so this is the row, and next row we're going to write next row, and we'll write a column, right? Inside the column we are going to paste that table, right? Okay, so this is the table also. Let's responsive SM. Fine. Let's see the final output. Okay, let's go. Let's reload. There is some problem. Table needs to be from the React Bootstrap. So here we can say table, right? And we have got our table. So this is table headings and all. Okay, so this is also responsive, hopefully. And here we have table heading and all, right? So let's write the few things about the heading. And here we have the name of the product, right? Also, let's keep clean your code, right? Let's copy this table from here and let's write a different function. Okay, so that will be more readable. Your code will be highly readable, right? So column here, and we'll say here next. Let's remove this product pictures. Const render products. Okay, so this is a function, render products, and here we're going to return our table, right? So here table head tr th, we'll say product name. Next we are going to say name. We want the price of the product, price. Next stock, that is quantity, price, quantity. Let's say description of the product. You can show the description, it's not a problem, or you can also avoid the description. Who wants to, admin never wants to read the description, right? Or he may wants to read, because if he wants to edit it. Okay, let's add also the description. Description. Next product pictures, right? That is important. Product pictures. Next category, which category it belongs to. Category. And then reviews, we don't want to show here reviews. Okay, fine. So let's remove the last one, and also let's remove this tr. So one tr will be enough, right? Let's remove one, save. Now let's check the output, and we need to also render this, render products. And here we are going to say render products, right? And here you can see the name, price, quantity, description, category, all we have, right? Okay, now let's go in the back end of your application. Close this, and here we have backend src. Here we have routes, and here we have product, everything, right? So instead of so this is going to be something related to the admin, right? Or it may be useful for the, okay, that is fine. So let's write it under the admin. Okay, auth. Here we're going to say let's write, we'll say here initial data dot js, initial data dot js. And here we are going to say, let's copy something from auth. So let's copy this initial data.js and paste over here. Now let's remove these three things which is not required, and let's remove the last two also. And here it is going to be initial data, right? So we'll say initial data. Okay, this is a new API we're creating, right? So let's remove all of these things. And for now, I'm just writing the controller here only. it is going to be request, then response. Okay, and okay, don't write here, we have to do a lot of things, right? So let's remove, and here we're going to say, let's create a controller inside the admin. Here we're going to say initial data.js, right? And here we're going to say exports dot, we'll say initial data request response, right? Okay, so here we have our initial data request response. Now let's import few things. So let's import, okay, not like that, const, we'll say category require, we'll say category, right? Come out, and we'll say models and then category, right? And let's copy this line, and here we are going to say product, and here it is products, models product. Save. Next, what we're going to say, okay, now let's fetch categories. Okay, this is okay. Now let's first fetch categories. So we'll say const, and we'll say categories equals to, and here we are going to say category dot find. So find with an empty object will give all the results categories, like whatever the number of categories you have, let's say 20, 30, 50, whatever it is. So we'll give all the results dot, after the find we are going to say execute, right? So this execute function, when we'll execute, will return a promise, and we can handle the promise by using then and catch function. And also we can handle the promise with async and await, right? So I'm going to make this function asynchronous. We'll say async and await. So here is async await. So it will give the result once it will be finished execution, and then it will come to the next line of instruction. So we'll say products, and here we're going to say await, and we'll say product dot find. Again, it is going to give all the products dot execute, and here we have all the results, right? So here we have categories. Obviously we have some categories, we have some products, right? Next we are going to say res dot status. So as we are just returning the response, so we'll say 200 dot json, and here we will return an object with categories dot categories and products, right? So key will be the categories, key will be the products. Save. And this is the controller, right? Now let's go to the initial data auth, and here we are going to import our controller. So we'll say initial data, and it is imported. So that is const initial data from this require, that is the file admin / initial data. Let's save. Now let's go to the server index.js file, and here we need to write our routes. So we'll say initial data routes. So here we'll say require / routes / admin / initial data. Okay, and also let's add in the API. So here we're going to say initial data routes. That's it. Now let's save, and now let's go to the Postman, and here let's create a new tab, and here we're going to say initial data. So here it is localhost / 2000 API initial data, right? It's a post request, and there's nothing body and anything right now. We haven't added anything, right? So it's 2000 / API / initial data. Now let's send the request, and voila, you can see what happened. So we have got a categories. Okay, that's an array. And okay, let me increase the size so you can see the better. And here you can see, so here we have categories, right? This is an array with all the list, all the categories, electronics or Samsung, whatever it is. Next we have products, right? So like this we are going to get all the initial data products, and here we have the list of products what we have created. Now let me teach you something more about Mongoose. So here you can see we have this execute function, right? Before this execute we can do chaining. We can add multiple functions to perform some actions, right? So here you can see the products and we are getting the product, right? And in the product I'm getting a lot of things like ID, name, slug, price, quantity, description, product price, and a lot of things, right? Let's say I want only few things, so I will use a function that is select. This is also called function chaining, and here I'm going to say I want underscore ID space and I want name of the product. That's it. This is what I want only. Okay, now let's go to the postman again. Okay, this is what I'm not expecting. Now let's go to the postman, and here let's send the request again, and here you can see what we have got. We have got ID and name, just ID and name, right? This is what we have selected. We have written within a select function. This is select function. I want just ID and name. Now let me tell you how foreign key works in this MongoDB database, right? So we know in SQL how foreign key works. We need to add a foreign key in a different table, and with the help of foreign key we can combine two tables and we can get the relevant data, right? Let me show you how foreign key works here. So here we have category as a foreign key, right? So we'll say category. That's foreign key concept is not exist in MongoDB, but just for the reference I'm telling like that. So say category. Now let's send the request again, and here you can see we have got ID, we have got name, we have got category. So category I'm considering as a foreign key. It is not a foreign key at all, right? So what we can do here, we can pass one more function, that is populate, right? And this populate, actually let me get it down so it will be more better, right? And here you can see the populate, then execute, right? So in this populate I can see fill the data, right? So we have category that belongs to different collection, and it will fill all the relevant data with this category. So this is nothing but an ID, and now it will populate that category, right? Let me show you how. So here you can send the request, and it's taking a little bit of time, and here you can see we have got the category data, not just category ID. We have got the complete data, like name, we want slug, we can parent ID, category, add, breed, add, everything, right? So this is how relation works in Mongoose. So because of Mongoose it works, right? So this is how it works. Okay, now let's go and let me have some more data, and I don't want to populate it right now, or I want to populate it, right? So we'll say category. Okay, let it normal right now. That's it. We'll improve this code in the next video. Okay, so let's add a category name, and here we are going to say name. We want no, we don't want slug. We want description. We want product pictures. That is an object. Okay, so here you can see the product pictures. We want category, price, quantity, ID, name, price, quantity, ID, name, price, quantity. Also let's add slug. Okay, now let's save, let's go, and let's go to the postman. Let's send the request, and here we have got ID, name, slug, price, quantity, description, and product pictures and categories, right? So this is the initial data. We can add more data like that. We can add, let's say we want to show the we want to get the orders also in the initial API data, right? So we can add here like that. Okay, so this is how it works. And now let me use this in the application, right? In the admin application. So let's save this, close it, minimize, admin application, source, app.js. Here we are writing this get all category function. Let's go to the actions. Here we have index.js, auth actions. So here we have to create a file. So let's create a file with initial name like initial data dot action dot js. Okay, initial data dot action dot js. So I'm just out of names right now. You can suggest me a better name for this file, right? So here you can say export const get initial data return, and here we're going to say async dispatch. Okay, now let's dispatch some actions. Type. Now let's create the constants. Export const initial data constants, and here we can say get all initial data underscore request. Request, then we are going to have here we're going to say success. Here we're going to say failure. Okay, success, failure, three different actions. Initial data action.js, and here we're going to say initial data constants dot get all initial data, that is request const res await. Here we're going to say axios dot post, we'll say ep forward slash initial data. That's it, and we'll console dot log say res, or let's write some more, right? If res dot status triple equals to 200 means it's a success response. We'll dispatch another action that is going to be type initial data constants dot get all initial data success payload, and here we can say initial data. Okay, and here we're going to say res. Okay, that is actually categories, and all right, so here not this dispatch, but okay, I'm doing something wrong. Okay, that is something I shouldn't do that, right? So here we have actions, right? Instead of dispatching this action, let's remove this. Totally wrong, right? Because we have different categories and different actions, right? So here we are going to get const, we are going to get categories, we're going to get products, right? res dot data, and instead of initial data constants, I don't know why I've written that, it is not required. So here we're going to say categories dot, no, not categories, here it is going to be the categories constant, category constant dot get underscore all category success. This is going to be what payload is going to be categories. So we have to handle this categories. If you go to the reducer, where is the reducer boy? Reducer, category reducer, and for the success, where is that? Oh, that is a function, and here you can see the success, that is categories get all categories underscore success, that is action.payload.categories. That is fine. So this name should be categories, and let's give a comma over here, save. Now dispatch one more action, dispatch, and here we're going to say a new constant, right? Constant, and let's create the new constant. Export const product constants, and here we're going to say get underscore all underscore products underscore request, and here we're going to say request. Here we're going to say sorry, here we're going to say success, failure. Now let's save. Let's go to the initial data action, and here we're going to say type product constants dot get underscore all underscore request underscore success. Let's take everything in the success right now. We'll say payload, and here we're going to say products, right? And also we can dispatch the request as well as the request for the categories as well as for the products before this call, right? And that right now I'm just avoiding it, else will dispatch error, dispatch. So type that is going to be okay, we haven't written any dispatch, so let's go and just simply say here console.log, and we'll say res, right? We'll handle it later. So get initial data, that is one thing. And let's go to the app.js, and instead of get all category, here we're going to say get initial data, and hopefully that is imported, right? Not imported. So we'll say here get initial data, and it's not coming because we have action and we haven't included that. So we'll include export asterisk from, we'll say initial data or action, save it, right? So here we have initial data action, and we are importing from here. Let's copy and let's go to the app.js. Let's paste over here, and this is what we are this is what we have, initial data. Let's save it. Also let's see, do we have any reducer to handle the products? Okay, no, not yet. So let's go and copy this category reducer, or better write a new one, that is better. Export, oh that is not, that is the default export. We'll say export a default, and here we're going to say what, state action, right? And here we're going to write switch action dot type case. Let's handle the success case. Okay, so we'll say products constants dot get underscore all underscore product success, and here we're going to say state, and let's spread the current state as well as let's add a new state, products. We'll say action dot payload dot products, and let's break this case once completed, and then return the action or reduce a new state, updated state, return. And also let's create the initial data, say const initial state, that is going to be category products, right? That is empty right now, so products, and then we'll fill this product, right? Let's go and let's go to the admin app, and get initial data identifier get initial data has already been declared. Okay, that's a problem. Has already been declared, that's because it's imported like that. Let's remove it, let's save, and let's okay, reload. Axios is not defined, I forgot. So here you can see category, let's go to the Axios, and now let's copy this line and paste in the initial data action. Okay, so let's paste over here, and let's get it down so it will look more beautiful and fine. Save, and let it reload. And reducer product return undefined during initialization. Okay, why not? Product reducer, and here we're returning the state. Okay, that's here, equals to initial state, right? That's initial state. Save, and that is worked. Cannot read property length of undefined. from the category of categories. Okay, the problem is here. We are if you go in backend, right? If you check, we have MERN backend and src, and let's go to the controller, admin, initial data, and here we are returning the categories like normal, right? But in this category case, we are not returning it as a like normal, right? So here we have something, a function that create the categories, and then it works, right? So there is a problem, and how we're going to solve it. So here we have categories, and let's copy this function. So okay, let's copy this for now. Okay, copy, and let's go to the initial data and paste over here, right? And now let's copy this and call it over here, right? And here we're going to say categories, keyword text categories, and that's it. So categories, it takes as an argument categories, and this name will be the categories, right? Save it. Now let's go and let's first check in the Postman. Let's send the request, and here we have got our like normal list as this is the expected list. Now let's go, and here we are seeing some errors. That's because I just made some changes. So model and identify model has already been declared. Let's go to the code and let's close everything. So here and admin application, let's go to the src folder, containers, category, index.js, and it is talking about the model, right? So let's remove this model button. Actually that's, I just made undo things, that's why. So here we have categories like normal, right? So this is what we are expecting, categories, products, and here we have we don't have the products, right? So we have to render the products. If you check your store here, you can see the store, that is a product, and we have 3 different products right now. So we can display these products. I don't want to display the images because I don't have the correct images for that. So 3 products, and now let's go to the file and let's go to the product page, index.js, and here we have raw, that is the body, and we are going to use this. Okay, so here let's first get the product. Okay, so here we have products function, main function. Now let's write your const, and here we can say the product equals to use selector, and luckily I think we haven't created a reduce. We have created the reducer, but not we have added in the combined reducer. Okay, so let's go to the reducer and index.js, and here, okay, here we have product reducer as well as this is fine. So let's go to the product page, and here we are going to say state, let's say state dot product, right? Let's save, check once the reducer. So this is the only the product. So this is the product, right? Now let's go, and here we have table body and tr, right? So let's write here. Here we're going to say product dot products dot length greater than 0, then write a function, that is use a map function, product dot products dot map product, and let's use this tr. Next we are going to say null. If it is not length greater than, it will be simply null. Okay, let's leave the 2 for now. Here we'll replace other things. So here it is going to be what is that name? So here it is name slug and no, sorry. So here we have name slug price quantity, right? So here we can say the product dot name, next table cell, product dot price, then again we have product cell, product dot quantity, product dot description, and then we have product pictures, right? So let's do not display the pictures for now. We'll add some functions for the pictures, so let's keep it like that, and let's give indentation a bit. Okay, so this is our tr, and also we need to add a key. Key is going to be product dot underscore id underscore, and let's check your postman, and here you can see what we have. So we have 3 different product with the description, right? You can see the product name, that is Samsung Galaxy Raven Black 64GB. This is what we have added in the previous times. Okay, the price is 7,000, quantity is 200. This is the description of the product, and also have the category, right? We'll display the category later. And also what we have, so category, that's it, right? We are not displaying the pictures, so category will display, we'll do something about the category, because that's we don't want to display the id, we want to display the name, right? So this is how we have the categories. We have the products now. Home is blank, that is okay. So category, products, and now we will add more tabs on the sidebar. Okay, so guys, thank you for watching. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe, and also let me know in the comment section what I need to improve, right? Thank you, bye bye.